Hello all, welcome to our channel. Here we are going to discuss class 11th history, first chapter early societies, and it is part 1, and you are there with Pandya. Early societies. Let us try to understand what is meant by society at first. Society is a combination of some communities. In the initial period, some people used to live together. At the very beginning, people used to have a nomadic life, and then slowly they started gathering into the groups, and these all groups became as a community, and they started establishing their own societies. So these are the three keywords. Keep in your mind to understand this chapter very easily. First keyword is that people, second one, past, third one, life. And I repeat, people, past, life. With these three words, you're going to understand this introduction part. So, in this section, we're about to discuss about early humans and their beginning life. These are the things very familiar to you, how they used to live in the initial days. The type of shelters are also very important here, which you need to understand. In the initial period, people used to live in caves or else near to the trees or else sometimes on the trees and all this. When it comes to the food, they used to collect produce of the plant, including that they also used to hunt and eat. And they slowly started discovering something like fire, language, and giving some useful sounds, making them to people to understand, communicating with the people and all. And one more thing here is about hunting and gathering. In the initial days, they used to get food by hunting and gathering. So, people, forests, settlements. What is the relation between people and forests and between forests and settlements? In the initial period, people used to live in groups as we discussed, and afterwards, these are all people started finding some settlements. But as they are living in forests, it is not so easy to find out settlements and all. In this process, they started making the settlements very easier to get access. So those were very small in size in the initial period, and then slowly they turned into a special kind of settlements. So with that, you can understand people started their life as nomads, and slowly they started settling in some places. So in this process, agriculture was also began around 10,000 years ago. This is one of the important points which you need to keep in your mind. And I repeat, settled agriculture was began around 10,000 years ago, and domesticating of animals are also started. They started domesticating animals like sheep, goat, cattle, pig, and donkey, and they started collecting some fibers from plant like cotton or flax. And also, after domesticating animals, they also started getting some animal fibers like owl, oven, etc. And one more important point here that you need to remember is 5,000 years ago, they started this domesticating of animals and also started this for plowing purpose and all, including that to pull the carts and all also they used to use this type of domesticated animals. So domesticating of animals, you understood that is one of the important things, but here we are not discussing about wild animals, whichever were known to them to the early humans and all. And slowly there was a change in developments. These gradual developments led to other changes as well. Like they started producing some crops and they started depending on that particular crop and started extending their agriculture system and all. So, in this way, settled life became more common in most of the places. So, whenever they started settling in one particular place, most probably they started depending on agriculture. So, some other communities, whichever were not completely depending on agriculture, and some communities, whichever were depending on agriculture, they started discovering or making of pots. These pots in the initial period used to store grains or else to prepare some food, including that they used to give a great attention to the processed foods to make them tasty and digestible very easily. At the same time, when people started settling in one particular place, they also started finding for metals or minerals, and slowly they started using minerals in their life. This gradually started extending to using all those minerals and making some metals or else using all this for jewelry purpose and all. And also there is a growing familiarity with other kinds of produce from distant lands. Like they also started importing and exporting with other communities or to some communities whichever are having in some other places or else sending their valuable goods to some other communities and also getting back some other valuable goods from some other communities. These are all process was done and they started collecting some precious stones. At the same time, they started using wood, stones for making beads and all. And people started using their innovative ideas to develop their life gradually. But here you need to remember we have taken certain examples to understand exactly what was happened here. We are not examine each and every example what was there in the past. So this is all about the introduction part and we'll be discussing in depth in next video. Thank you.